I realized something recently that kind of messed me up. I was looking at my calendar for next week. The color coded Google Calendar that rules our entire existence. And I realized I knew exactly what was going to happen to me for the next 7 days. I knew where I'd be at 10 a.m. on Tuesday. I knew what I was eating for dinner on Thursday. I even knew when I had scheduled free time to relax. And on paper, that looks like success, right? That looks like I'm an adult who has their life together. But looking at those little colored blocks, I just felt empty. It made me think about being 10 years old, specifically summer break. Do you remember the feeling of waking up on a Tuesday in July with absolutely zero agenda? You didn't have a to do list, you didn't have a morning routine. You just woke up, ate some cereal, and walked outside to see what the world had for you. Maybe you rode your bike to the edge of the neighborhood. Maybe you stared at a bug for 20 minutes. Maybe you ended up at a friend's house playing Halo until your eyes burned. You were just drifting. But somewhere between graduating school and paying our first tax bill, we decided that drifting was a crime. We decided that winging it was for losers. And I think that shift, that specific obsession with knowing exactly what comes next, is the main reason why so many of us feel burnt out, bored, and anxious all the time. We live in the era of the master plan. You can't just scroll TikTok or YouTube for 5 minutes without seeing some guy in a rented penthouse telling you that you're failing. They tell us that if we aren't waking up at 4 a.m., taking an ice bath, journaling our 5 year goals, and optimizing our dopamine levels, then we're falling behind. They sell us this idea that life is an engineering problem, that if we just build the perfect formula, if we just apply enough force and discipline, we can hack our way to happiness. It's the Jeff Bezos mindset applied to normal people. We look at billionaires and think, well, they planned every move, so I need to plan every move. So we start treating ourselves like corporations. We have quarterly goals for our hobbies. We listen to podcasts on 2x speed because we don't actually care about the story. We just want to consume the data faster. We don't go to dinner with friends without checking Yelp reviews first to make sure it's the optimal caloric intake for the price. We have bulldozed all the randomness out of our lives because we've convinced ourselves that randomness is inefficient. And yeah, sure, it is inefficient. But here's the thing, nobody tells you about efficiency. It's incredibly boring. A hyper-optimized life is a sterile life. It's like a highway. You're moving fast, the road is smooth, and you're going exactly where the GPS says. But you can't stop. You can't turn. You can't see anything. The best example of this is actually video games. If you're a gamer, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Think about playing Minecraft back in 2012, or maybe Skyrim. When we first played those games, we didn't know anything. We were just swinging it. I remember building a house out of dirt and glass blocks because I thought it looked cool. I didn't know about spawn rates or optimal farming layouts. I just explored. I dug a hole because I wanted to see what was at the bottom. Now, look at how we play games today. Before a game even launches, there are 50 videos on YouTube titled Things I Wish I Knew Before Starting, or The Best Meta Build for Max Damage. We don't explore anymore, we follow a guide. We treat the game like a checklist. We are terrified of playing wrong. We min-max the fun out of the experience until it just feels like a second job. And that is exactly what we are doing to our real lives. We are min-maxing our existence. We don't go on dates to meet people. We treat dating apps like a hiring process, scanning resumes to see if a person aligns with our 10-year trajectory. We don't go for a walk just to walk. We go for a walk to get our steps in, so our Apple Watch doesn't shame us. We are so obsessed with the outcome of an activity that we miss the actual activity. We've forgotten how to just play. And look, I get it. I'm not sitting here pretending I'm a guru who floats through life on a cloud. I am terrible at this. As I've gotten older, I've become a control freak. I get anxiety if my plans change last minute. If I'm going on a trip, I need an itinerary. I need to know where the hotel is, where the coffee is, and how long it takes to get to the airport. Why do we do this? Why are we so scared of an unplanned afternoon? I think it's because winging it requires trust. It requires you to trust yourself. It requires you to believe that if something unexpected happens, you can handle it. When you plan everything, you're trying to preemptively solve problems that haven't happened yet. You're trying to control the future because you're afraid of it. But the irony is, by trying to control everything, you actually lose control. You become rigid, and rigid things break. If your entire happiness relies on a plan going perfectly, you're going to be miserable because life never goes to plan. It rains. The restaurant is closed. The date is awkward. You get a flat tire. People who can wing it, people who can just go with the flow, they aren't bothered by this stuff. They just pivot. They laugh at the chaos. They are the people who end up having the best stories. I heard a story recently about a guy who went to Asheville, North Carolina. He and his girlfriend were walking down the street with a plan to go to some specific museum, but on the way, they heard drumming. Now, the adult thing to do is ignore it. Check the watch. We have tickets for 2 p.m., we have to keep moving. But they didn't. They just followed the noise. They wandered into a park and found a massive drum circle. Just dozens of people banging on drums, dancing, being weird, being human, and they stood there for an hour just watching. He said he barely remembers the museum they went to later, but he remembers the drum circle vividly. Why? Because it was a detour. It was unscripted. We need more detours. I'm not saying you need to quit your job, sell your house, and live in a van. We have bills, we have rent, we have responsibilities. You can't wing it when it comes to paying your taxes. But you can wing it in the margins. You can reclaim the small moments. So, how do we actually do this without ruining our lives? Start small. This week, try to do one thing that serves absolutely no economic purpose. Go to a part of your city you've never been to. Don't look up best things to do. Just drive there, park the car, and walk. If you see a coffee shop that looks cool, go in. If you see a weird alleyway, walk down it. When a friend hits you up last minute to grab a drink, and your brain immediately says, "No, I need to do laundry and rot in bed," just say yes. The laundry will be there tomorrow. The experience won't. Talk to strangers. I know, terrifying, right? We all wear headphones like armor now, but take them off. Ask the barista how their shift is going. Compliment someone's shirt. These interactions are unscripted. You don't know what they're going to say. That's the point. It wakes you up. It reminds you that you're a character in a massive, open world, not just a user in a simulation. And stop trying to monetize your hobbies. You are allowed to be bad at things. You can paint a picture that looks like trash. You can write a song that doesn't rhyme. You can play a video game on easy mode just to look at the scenery. There is a really good chance that when you are 80 years old and you're looking back at your life, you aren't going to remember the days where everything went according to plan. You aren't going to look back fondly on the Tuesday where you successfully cleared your inbox and optimized your gym routine. You're going to remember the weird stuff, the accidental stuff, the night you got lost in a new city and found the best pizza of your life, the time you missed your flight and ended up meeting a new friend at the airport bar, the moments where the script broke and you had to improvise. We spend so much energy trying to build a perfect life that we forget to actually live it. So, do yourself a favor. Tear up the itinerary. Ignore the algorithm. Take a detour. The master plan will still be there when you get back. But for now, just go see what happens.